Hey guys, welcome back to Cocktail Hour with LesLo.
Yeah, we're so excited to be here for another episode at the Starling.
The Starling, one of our favorite places in ATL.
Literally, if you follow us on our personal socials, or our company social, you know that we're here all the time for events or just
meetings,
good vibes.
The bar.
Yes. We really love this hotel. And so while we typically have a bartender, since we're here, we wanted to kind of sample some of the new cocktails from their new cocktail menu down in Cantana, which we're really excited about. It's summertime. We were feeling a little lemon-y vibe. And so
we got lemon drops.
But you got a different lemon drop. So maybe talk about yours a little bit.
So I got a hibiscus lemon drop, and it's a vibe. And you know, you got a little regular one.
I did. I don't always like hibiscus.
It's good.
I think it depends on the day, but we're feeling it. Shout out to Walter and the dream team here at the Starling. We just adore it. And we're grateful to be here and to be back for another episode of your favorite podcast, Cocktail Hour with LesLo.
And we're grateful for all the new subscribers. So thank you guys for continuing to follow and subscribe and comment. We're grateful, we're humbled. And because of that, because there's so many new people, we thought it would be cool, instead of focusing on events, lifestyle, trends, to just let you guys into our personal worlds a little bit.
Yeah, I think that so much of our brand is about us and like our relationship dynamic as sisters and business partners.
We are sisters for the newbies.
We are. I think we just represent something a little bit different in the industry. And so while we're trying to grow our space and while we definitely kind of want to share what we've learned as far as like our area of expertise, we also want to feel like you guys kind of get to know us or have an opportunity to know us a little bit better. So for all of the newbies, for all of the new LesLo fam, we're going to spend some time today giving you guys a little bit of background about... Ooh, allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Lo. A little bit of background on us. So I don't know, do we want to start with just
cheers.
Cheers to us.
Cheers to Les and Lo and all of the new subscribers. And let's dive into the combo.
I think so. Hold please.
The hibiscus is hibiscusing.
I feel like a good place to start is just, I think we could asked.
It's okay.
I think we get asked a lot about our, like, how we became planners, our origin story, how we came up with LesLo. Some of you guys might have heard this before, but I don't know, maybe we start there with a little bit of like how we got here.
Yeah. I never really know what to say in terms of when we started, but I feel like you tell the story better, so I'm gonna let you tell it.
Yeah.
So go.
We do have different versions kind of the story. I always like to say, which is true, I think growing up, we grew up in a family that's very close knit. We love to like host and entertain. We always were having kind of people over.
Always having cocktails.
Or just like finding opportunities to celebrate. Shout out to our dad, who I think established our ritual
twin.
A daily happy hour. Like even just with yourself, he enjoys a cocktail every day. He has his own personal happy hour.
He does.
Or we would join him when we were of age. And so I don't know, I think that just love for like coming together and finding opportunities to just eat and fellowship.
And drink
and hosting people and like feeling the love in those spaces is something that was kind of foundational to us in childhood, and we carried with us into our adulthood.
Oh, foundational.
It's giving pageant queen.
Okay. It was foundational. Because we love a cocktail and happy hour.
We do love a cocktail and happy hour. But I think the thing about cocktails that we love, and even calling it cocktail hour, is really like the social aspect, like the connectedness. So whether it's like actual alcohol or a mocktail or just gathering family around like food and fellowship, I think it's something that's just really core to like our family values. And so as we kind of grew and like advanced in our own careers, and we'll maybe talk about that a little bit.
Ooh.
I think we both carried that with us, and like we're in our own ways hosting and entertaining and doing events both in our personal and professional lives until we were presented with an opportunity. I always say...
We always talk about Lindsay, so go ahead and talk about Lindsay.
And then you can tell your version.
Okay.
My version of our origin story is our little sister, Lindsay. Shout out to Lindsay. Shout out to Green Tea Wednesdays. Bink. Y'all go follow our sis. Was graduating from high school, headed to University of Alabama.
Roll Tide.
Ooh, period. Ooh, I'm honorary.
Continue.
She was graduating and headed to UA. And so Les and I wanted to celebrate her. And so we hosted a graduation party and
we planned a little
shindig.
Yeah.
And it was actually at like my old agency. We like used one of the conference rooms and like made flowers.
That really brings it home.
I mean, houndstooth. We like custom DIY like decor, invitations.
It was giving DIY.
Yeah, and it was just, I feel like that was the beginning.
We have to find pictures.
We should. We'll try to find pictures and pop them up. But I feel like that was our beginning. That was the first event that we did together. We didn't really have a name yet, but I think from there we went on to do other things. And I'll pass the mic because I know you have a different version of the origin story.
Version, because while we do love Lynn's, we did plan her grad party
Shout
for high school. I don't think that was really how we started. I feel like it was giving DIY, and we're not DIY girls by any means.
We've come a long way.
We have come a long
DIY girls.
way.
I'll still DIY.
You're going to be DIYing by yourself because I ain't DIYing. I always say that we kind of started with planning my best friend's wedding. So my best friend, Bria.
Shout out, Bria.
Got married right after college, and we planned her wedding, which was featured in quite a few different magazines. And I really think that was the catalyst of us kind of starting LesLo.
Well, what about the baby shower, though?
Well, I mean, yeah.
That was technically.
It was DIY.
It was her beat.
I feel like the true like catalyst, like, okay, this is for real, was her wedding.
Yeah.
And then from there, we got another wedding, and then another wedding, and then another wedding, and then we decided, oh wow, we really need to kind of make this an official thing. And you came up with LesLo.
I did. Well, it's so interesting now that you say that, and I'm like processing. I still think both of those stories are grounded in like family, which I think is core to our brand. Like our sister, your best friend, who's literally like our sister too. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's like all of those initial events were so grounded in family. And so I think it makes sense that as sisters, what inspired our brand.
Bring it home.
Bring it all around.
Bring it home.
What inspired our brand, what inspired the name of the brand was really us. And we're family. And so it was about just kind of, I love
how you do that.
Coming together or bringing it.
Girl.
What is happening?
Come on.
Okay. No, seriously, coming together and really like kind of the combining of our family and our names, like
and the combining of our expertises, which we'll get to. So that's the origin of our business, which then prompted us to get to a place where we had to pick a name. And I think it was just intuitive. I think people always think our name means something weird or they think it's like, ooh, how'd you come up with that? It's so cool. It's literally Les and Lo, because I think that's the brand. And so LesLo was born of family and of the good sisters. I love that.
Yay! I told a good story.
I think that's a great segue into just talking about our individual expertises, which are kind of a collaboration. Our LesLo is a collaboration of our two brains, our two expertises. And I think it's lit that you came up with that. I would never have come up with that. Yes. Lo is in this like creative galaxy up in space where I don't always travel to. And you just come up with crazy ideas, and sometimes they can be basic, like you're just like, it's easy, but it's not. You just come up with these really cool ideas, and I think that speaks to who you are and the expertise that you bring.
Oh my God.
Okay, girl, talk about your background.
Well, I feel like I've been talking a lot, so maybe we should start with the less of LesLo. I think to your point, LesLo is really about us kind of bringing together our two different personalities, styles, areas of expertise, and really trying to maximize our strengths within our brand, right? For the events that we produce and the clients that we serve. And so to start, we should start with Leslie.
Introduce me, chat.
No, I was going to let you introduce yourself. Leslie, like an interview.
I gave you the mic.
Oh, okay. You can take it back.
And I'm Leslie of LesLo Events. Not Les. which we talked about, I think, in episode 1.
They might not have seen it.
They might not have. So if you haven't, go to our podcast channel and see it.
What's your beef with Les for the people?
I don't think I have a beef. It goes back to, I think it was 1st or 2nd grade. I went to Meadows Elementary.
Meadows. Let's
hear
hear
it
it
now.
now.
They're going to know what that is.
Okay,
In Plano, Texas. And in my class, there was me, Leslie, and there was a guy, LesLo. We spelled the same. And so.
Really?
Yeah.
I never knew this.
Yeah. And so.
I thought you just like made it up to be posh.
No, I am posh. But no. So I can't remember if it was 1st or 2nd grade, but there was 2 of us in the same class. And so that was the only way to differentiate ourselves. So if it was Leslie, which is more masculine with the Z, people knew it was for him. And mine was Leslie, which is a little bit more feminine in my opinion. And that's kind of how he went by Les. And that's how I've never
I
told
think
you
that's
this.
like, no, but I think that's really hard for like the Southern drawl. The Southern folks, like they're gonna give you a
Because I
Les.
love a Leslie.
They're like, what's up, Liz?
And I really don't like it.
And you know the culture.
It's my biggest pet peeve.
The culture is like, what's up, Liz?
It's my biggest
like
pet
it
peeve.
makes you feel like
I don't like it.
you part of the community.
It makes me feel like a bean. I don't like a little
bean. Anyway, continue.
I don't like it. Anyway, yeah, I would say that I'm a type A. You said posh. I would agree. And so in our business, of LesLo, I kind of bring the logistics brain. I'm super type A, I'm super organized. I'm really kind of in the trenches with the logistics and kind of coordinating the day-to-day of the things that we're doing and just keeping us organized. And I think that's a little about me. I would say.
What's your background though?
Yeah,
Like,
my background, I went to University of Alabama.
Roll Tide. I'm honorary.
I'm proud. But you ain't been to a game though.
It's okay.
I need to take you. Okay. So you can't really say you're honorary.
I'm not interested.
Okay. Well, I've been to Grambling games, so.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I have.
Well, you were 12 before
It
I
doesn't
went
matter,
there.
I've still been.
No.
Okay.
Were they at
Anyway.
Grambling? No, they weren't.
Yes, I went to Grambling with you. Not with you, but with the family. And we went to games.
Oh. Shout out Gram fam.
So Lo went to Grambling.
We'll get to me. We're on UA.
Not A. Because type A?
No, just because I thought that's what
Oh,
y'all
like
call it.
AB?
No, like we're on UA, like University of Alabama.
Oh, okay. Anyway, I went to University of Alabama and I got a bachelor's and a master's in management.
Period, Pooh.
Educated,
Credentials.
okay? Pretty and
What,
smart.
like it's hard?
Like it's hard.
What, like it's hard?
And during my time at Bama, I worked for University Programs, which is the collegiate kind of planning team on campus. So we would plan Week of Welcome, right? Just campus events for the president. And I really kind of started being interested in event planning.
Mm-hmm.
From there, while I was at the university, one summer, I also got a certification in event planning and design. And as part of the certification, I had to intern for a wedding planner. So I interned for a wedding planner in Tuscaloosa, did a couple summer weddings with her, and I was like, dang, like I want to be an event planner. I want to be a wedding planner. Like this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
I remember you calling me like from these events when she was doing these, because you were also working and holding down like a whole second job at the time. And I remember you calling me like during this time in your life. You did.
Too.
You called me during this time in your life at these events and you were like so excited. You're like, I'm like interning with this wedding planner and it's
I really liked it.
So
Although
crazy.
she did fire me. She did fire me. That's the truth of the story. Just because I wasn't available for every single event
I don't
because
think
I had a
knew
job.
that.
Yeah, she
Oh,
fired
I'm
me.
learning so much today, guys, with you guys.
But anyway, so
Does our parents know that? Because they know now.
I don't. They don't know. It was unpaid though.
Okay.
It was an internship for credit hours for the certification program. but-
Not you got fired from your credit hours program.
Yeah, I did. Anyway, so from there, I kind of knew like, wow, I want to be an event planner. And so when I was graduating looking for jobs, I was searching for roles that were event planner roles. And our stepmom lived in Atlanta at the time. And so a lot of my sorority sisters lived in Atlanta.
to Minda. We love you.
A lot of my sorority sisters lived in Atlanta, so I was like, shoot, I'm gonna move to Atlanta too.
Yeah.
So I started just looking for jobs in Atlanta, and I got a job at a corporate firm, PwC, and I was planning corporate events.
Yeah.
And so from there, I kind of got a lot of experience in corporate event planning, conference planning, and of course we had LesLo kind of in the cut too.
But I do think that that's something like that's when we talked about bringing our skills to the table. I think your experience at PwC and doing events at that scale for corporations, I think adds a layer of like,
of audit in detail.
Yeah,
so
that's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, and definitely knee deep in auditing. So everything we would do, right, of course, had to be very detail oriented. You couldn't miss, right, a T.
It's like a layer of precision. That's the word I was looking for. Like, I think your strength is that you are very precise with details. You do like get down to the nitty gritty. And I'm a Virgo, so I do relate to that in a lot of ways. But I think the way that you're able to apply it to like our planning process and our clients is something that really does distinguish our brand for sure.
I'm definitely thankful for that experience. From what I've learned just being in the industry, and I think one of the things that sets us apart as a firm is that a lot of people in the industry kind of just get in and they just start doing it and they design and they call themselves planners. Which is great.
Or they plan, they don't design.
Or they don't design and they just plan. Yeah, but I think it's really helpful to actually have that skill set of planning very precise and very to the detail events and bringing that forward into our own firm, I think is why I was put at PwC.
Yeah, and then when you can coordinate like thousands of people for like a conference event, that's like 250 people is nothing, right? So I think like I do appreciate that you do bring that like insight and value and like level of organization because we'll talk about me in a second, but I'm a Virgo.
Girl, let's talk about you.
Okay, we can talk about me. I'm a Virgo, but you know, I can get very like fixated on like perfection in like one area. And sometimes that keeps me from like the big picture and being able to like really see across. Like while I am detail oriented, I think you just like more efficiently kind of work through that like process in a very precise fashion. So
thank you. I'm gonna hand it my
okay, girl. I guess me.
Yeah.
So I'm the low, and LesLo. I'm the low. The low.
Lauren, for people that are wondering.
Hello, they know. Well, we are clearly sisters. I'm the oldest. We've talked about that as well. I talked about our origin story growing up in Texas. We kind of preluded to the fact that I went to an HBCU after high school.
Shout out to Graham.
Shout out to Grambling. Shout out to the Graham fam. Changed my life. Well, maybe that's another episode. I think that's like one of the like, most like pivotal experiences in my life, and I'm so appreciative for it. My major was actually mass comm. I thought I was going to be in radio, TV.
I thought you were going to be like a writer.
Literally. Well, like I was really, that's a good point. Growing up, I was always really good at writing. I think I'm still a really great writer. I would say that even my professors at Graham tried to push me into like being a writer. Hopefully we get a blog soon, working on it. But like journalism, mass comm was like an area of interest for me. So I started off in radio, TV, and ended up pivoting to PR when I found out that once you graduate with like TV, radio, that you probably move to like tiny nowhere towns, to like work your way up to Oprah. And
that would be Oprah.
I mean, it didn't sound exciting to me, right? I wanted to like walk off the stage, walk onto the set.
Okay.
With Miss
You may want to work your way up.
And, you know, I did. It's just my truth. So I was exploring other options. But as I started to kind of like put the feelers out in the department, I really did find love in like PR and marketing and advertising. It's something that I feel like stimulated my creative self. Like I was able to write. Like I can kind of use all of the different kind of skill sets.
The creative, be creative.
The creative, my creative brain was stimulated. But there's also like, I'm a Virgo. So there's also this like strategic part of my brain too. And I feel like marketing's a really great, like happy medium for me. After I graduated from Graham, I went back to Dallas, and my first like big girl job was at an ad agency where I really cut my teeth. Yeah, shout out to Sophia. But I really cut my teeth at ABI in Dallas, and as part of my job there, I'm in account service. I did a lot of events. We had to do events for various clients, and so I was still kind of in my own way doing event planning and corporate events in a different way. And then I think
it wasn't little events. They were
it wasn't, yeah. And then in my personal life too, like I think just like still loving that idea of like bringing people together for like dinner parties, and a Sunday dinner like was something that I was still passionate about and doing in my life. And so like Les said, she moved to the A. I was at a point in my career a few years in when she graduated where I was like looking to grow and change. And so we kind of just like organically.
I dragged her
She
here.
did. She kicking and screaming a little bit. I mean, I wasn't kicking and screaming, but I don't think I was thinking Atlanta. I was like, I want to move, or I want to do something different.
I was like, please go.
She was like, come here. Like we can do like LesLo. We had by that time like done a couple of things, I think, together. And so it just kind of made sense to move, I think, at the time. And so, yeah, I think that what I do for LesLo is I definitely do think I am a creative brain. And so I lead a lot of our like design and creative execution. So event design. I think one of the things that definitely sets our team apart is that ability to actually do design, which is no shade. I think that there are a lot of planning teams that's not their area of expertise, that they rely on other vendors. But I love that part of the process. I get really into like getting into people's brains and like pulling out kind of their visions and like challenging even their visions and pulling together vision boards and event concepts that are like unique to the, like I love that whole part of like vision boarding and creating and designing events, and that detail is very stimulating to my brain. And so the aesthetics, as Leslie likes to say, your girl, that's right up my alley.
Yeah, and you're lit at it. And I think it really, like you said, sets us apart.
Yeah.
I feel like just knowing, you know, a lot of our planner friends, a lot of our designer friends, nobody really puts together design boards and kind of creative inspiration. We call them vision boards the way we do.
Yeah.
So that's the feedback that we get from a lot of our industry friends, our frienders. We'll put something on paper and it's really visual and it really helps to kind of tell the story across the board, right, for what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't do that.
Well, and I think that's something I learned even from marketing, just in general, like presenting design work and documenting, like being able to take an idea from your head and like put it on paper and speak to it, conceptualize it, I think is part of the benefits. Like you said, like one of the things that was part of my journey and one of the things that I learned that I get to kind of apply here is that like marketing and branding and like detail from that perspective. So I think
You swear branding, you don't like a monogram.
I do, because branding isn't just about a monogram.
I know. I love a monogram.
You do. That's another thing. Like Leslie, even our styles are different, which I think is interesting. Like you do love a monogram. It's given Alabama. Y'all monogram everything. Whereas
the napkins, the dance floor, the invitation, the website.
I think being in marketing and like advertising,
it's like bigger picture.
I do like branding, but it doesn't have to look like a monogram, right? Like I think there's like a brand concept, like a brand identity. And so there's all these different pieces and parts, inclusive of like a logo mark that like make up a brand. And so we look at it different, but sometimes the girls want a monogram.
Maybe.
And we give them a monogram, just like y'all had on the bags in Alabama. Y'all got y'all's initials on everything. Y'all love a monogram. You also brought up a good point when you talk about kind of our friends in the industry and other teams. Like I do think another thing that's distinct about our team is not just we have those different kind of skill sets that are really included and like core to our process, but there's two of us.
There are.
I think just the fact that there's two of us, period, I think is something that's a little bit unique. I think we often find that our unique perspectives and like ideas, like our clients usually relate more to one than the other. And so I think that's a benefit. If it was just you and you couldn't like catch the vibe, or if it was just me and I couldn't catch the vibe, I do think that that's something
I do too. And it just helps us to really kind of bring our best foot forward and our best creative ideas forward. Yeah. I think if it was all about the ideas that in my head, I'd be stuck in my little idea world. And so again, you live in a galaxy that I don't travel to. Your ideas and your creative diversifies our design process and our ideas, and it's helpful. One of the issues in the industry is repeat, right? We really try not to just repeat everything that, and so sometimes you have to quick turn stuff and it's easy to like repeat, but having the two of us and having the two brains, even the conflicting brains a lot of times, because we don't agree a lot.
That's true.
Which is a good thing. It helps us to just set ourselves apart as we're designing.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. And I do think, to your point, we challenge each other a lot, but I think that it pushes us for betterment. So I think the areas where you shine, like I don't necessarily shine, right? And so you really are good about holding me accountable for like doing better in those areas, or like challenging me if I just throw an idea out that like I could do better. And I think vice versa, like.
Yeah, no, I think for me, again, I love a monogram, just as an example. And I'll put a monogram or a logo on everything.
Yeah.
And you bring that challenge. And that's just one example of trying to get me out of the box that I'm sometimes in.
Well, you also are like, you do have creative ideas. And I think sometimes it can be, I think sometimes you struggle to like know how to maybe articulate them well.
Too. Yeah.
But it's like, I think you're good about, even if I throw something out, like you're like, what about like, or I was thinking about something like this. And even if you can't quite put all the pieces together, I think like working on that muscle is good too. Or challenging you to be like, you could think of something, like you could think of a caption, you could think of an idea.
But yeah, no, I agree.
I think is, okay, so now that we've loved on each other a lot, what else do we have to chat about?
So we talked a lot about just ourselves, getting to know us, but let's tell them about LesLo Events, the firm.
Yeah,
a little bit more.
Maybe we should just talk about some of the things that like we're most excited to have accomplished, going from whether you count Lindsay's grad party or the shower or the wedding. Leslie has been a florist.
Leslie
used to literally design a floral.
I did, but I'm so glad we don't do this ever. Taking a step back, just for, again, the new subscribers that are here, LesLo Events, we're a full service planning and design firm. So we do luxury, darling.
Don't forget the lux.
Don't forget the luxury. We create corporate events, social events, weddings, private events, all the things, right? And so that's kind of what we do as a company. And you want to pop off about our resume?
Well, and then when we say full service, I know we nodded to this a little bit, but like it means that we don't just do like one like planning and that's it. Right. Like we really are very hands-on, really like comprehensive in the way that we approach events, from design to planning to execution, like from start to finish. We really kind of carry with our clients or work with our clients.
And I think it's valuable in terms of the experience. We don't want to jump in once you're halfway done, right? We don't want to be your day of coordinator. We don't want to be your designer. We want to be with you from start to finish, to see you through actual event day and a little bit of after. Right? So.
And we don't do day of anymore.
We don't do day of.
But it doesn't mean that we don't help. And I think that that's another thing that's cool, that we have these different skill sets, which means we can do just one piece, right? Of course, we ideally want to do everything, but we have the ability to help one of our planner friends, right? Do design only for clients, right? So you do have that flexibility, because we know people all the time come to us and they're at different stages of their planning process, whether they're like, I got engaged yesterday. Sometimes they're like not even engaged yet. We get phone calls that are like, I know I'm about to get proposed to, and I want y'all to do the engagement, and or like, I'm gonna call y'all after, but I just wanted to get a feel because we're talking about it. So we meet people across like various stages of the process. And so we definitely want to be able to kind of provide everything that you need in one house. We do work with other partners to do that, and friends to do that, or execute on that, but that's just a little bit more context as to what full service means. Because I think when you're looking for planners, those words might pop up, but like asking those questions to really understand, like, do you do design in-house? Like, what capabilities do you have? Like, what does this process look like? Is it soup to nuts? Do you do day of? Like, I think it's really important.
Yeah, and just to clarify, we do provide day of, services for our clients. But we don't just,
do day of only.
Correct.
Yeah.
So let's talk about
our resume, our brag sheet. Let me think some of the most exciting things that we've done. I mean, I think a lot of people talk about, we've got some awards. We've been published in a few things.
Okay, well, let's just
We've
call
done
them
some
out.
TV.
Let's talk about, don't be humble now.
Oh.
Don't humble brag. In terms of publication, let's see.
I feel like all the big things in kind of the Southeast.
And Brides.
And Brides.
And Brides, that's national. My crap.
And Brides.
Be Collective, Black Bride, Modern Luxury. What am I missing? I feel like probably some. TV, Bravo TV.
Bravo, we did do
Little episode.
Well, we were on an episode, but we did one of the weddings for a Married to Medicine couple.
Shout out to Audra and Martin.
Happy birthday. Today's her birthday. We need
Oh
to
my
text her. Happy birthday.
Oh,
This is happy belated birthday, Audra. By the time you see this, we adore you. They have the cutest new baby. And
oh my gosh.
that was really exciting. I think, what else should we talk about? I think one of the things I'm also just really proud of for our brand and like that I think distinguishes us and like things that we've done really cool are some of our styled shoots.
Okay.
I know we're in Pride Month specifically. I feel like, and it's so odd in Atlanta that I feel like we're very inclusive and we're loud and open about being inclusive. And so we did a styled shoot with a same-sex couple, I should say models, which is maybe one of my favorite style shoots to date that we've done. It was like beautiful and that's been published. And I think it's just like a beautiful representation of like us too and our brand. And like, I think specifically like we represent a minority in the business. And so I think it's important to really highlight and like welcome minorities. And so I don't know, I think that when I think about things that like make me excited about work that we've done, that's definitely something that comes to mind.
Yeah, no, I'm proud of that too. I think in the industry, sometimes it's hard to be proud, Yeah. And so I'm just happy that we're loud and proud and inclusive as well.
Yeah, and I think another thing that I'm really proud of that I think sets us apart is like we are it can be very competitive in this industry. And I think we've been very intentional about building relationships and bridges and collaborating and working with other planners and creating community and sisterhood in an industry that can feel very and brotherhood and an industry that can feel very like clicky sometimes. And so I think we definitely like, not only are we young, I think no shade, but like we walked in, it's like, who these young Black girls talk about their planners? And then we really have, I think, created a brand that speaks for itself, that I think, we haven't had like chaos or crisis or like scandal.
It's
like,
okay to brag a little.
A little bit or whatever. But I do think that that's something that also I'm very proud of and like admire about us and our brand is that we're not just like by the book. Like I think we do care about relationships a lot, that going back to that family point, and we really try
bring
to
it home, girl.
Build a family here.
Wow, I think that concludes our
is that it? Have we talked enough about us?
I think so.
I do. Well, I guess we should say just again, thank you guys for being here and being on this journey with us. I think there's a lot on the horizon. We're looking forward to continuing to grow this community. Continuing to grow this community.
Thank you for interacting. I think it was the last episode where we were asking y'all to engage, and y'all been engaging.
And we are excited in some coming episodes to do some of the things you guys have recommended. So we're gonna bring on some former clients. We're gonna bring on some friends, some frienders, / clients. I think we're just excited to share more of ourselves and share more of our lives with you guys. So lock into
more
all
behind the scenes.
Those channels, okay? Let's get into the TikTok.
Oh, we lit on TikTok.
Oh.
At LesLo Events on TikTok, at LesLo Events on Instagram. We got a Twitter. We're building the Twitter. So y'all follow us on Twitter at LesLo Events. Twitter's hard. YouTube, y'all are going up. At
Instagram.
LesLo Events. Continue to like, subscribe. I can never say that word. And engage with us. We're thankful. We love you. And cheers.
Salud.
Oh, wait, we didn't cheers right. Did we?
Never above you. Oh,
never above you, never below you, always beside you.
You almost broke the
Cheers,
glass.
sis.
Cheers, sis and bro. Bye. Barely had a cut after the first 5 cuts. We just did the whole rest of the episode.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is...
Oh, H to the O-V.
My name is Lo. That would have been good.
Oh, I
You
should
would've
have
said-
Allow me to reintroduce myself.
No, you
My name
killed
is
it.
Lo. Okay.
Fine. Anyway.
Cocktail hour with
LesLo. Ew. Subscribers.
We have
He ain't like that.
He did it. He said, I'm going to delete that. Can't even get the intro right. It was the fact that he deleted the clip. Oh my gosh, not even blooper worthy. I think we should use, the less and the low and LesLo.
The less and the low. LesLo. Get it? We have to explain it a lot.
Ooh.
Go ahead.
I don't know. That threw me off. So, what was I saying? I don't know. I lost it. Blooper.
Flow. You're supposed to flow.
Girl, but your flows be throwing off my flow. You just be jumping in, and I got ADD. I cannot.
Let's get into it. Before we do, sorry. I know you got ADD, child. What are we drinking?
We are both feeling it's summer. We're filming in July. It's actually Pride Month. Shout out.
We're filming in June.
Just kidding.
Yep.
The best podcast of all time.
A channel.
I don't know. I don't know.
What is wrong with
I don't know. Welcome back to our channel. Welcome back to Cocktail Hour with LesLo. We're so excited to be here today. What is happening? Let me drink.
Just flow.
I'm trying really
You're
hard.
being weird.
This episode, we're doing something a little bit different. Again, Leslie mentioned there's a lot of new people, faces, really avatars.
I didn't mention yet.
Oh, okay. Well,
do you want to start over
just
again?
breathe.
I'm breathing.
Okay, I'm just gonna flow. We're struggling today.
You struggling.
Oh, you're being mean. You're not being nice. What, Leslie?
I was gonna say peon, but I don't know if that's appropriate.
You shouldn't. That's edited out immediately.
Set ourselves apart. Set ourselves apart.
31 minutes?
We're almost done. Yeah.
Baby, we done top.
I know, but
Damn.
10 minutes of that wasn't good at the beginning.
No, he deleted that.
So we can get on.
He removed, he
Okay.
he cut up the SD card.
And play.